Hi, I'm Deanna, and this is Jackie. Welcome to Glow in Peace. Okay, in this video, this is the summer hair growth challenge. It is 30 days. June is coming up. June is a perfect 30 days. So this is going to take your hair from, I promise you, from from whatever the length it is to thicker, healthier hair. You don't believe me? Go watch some of my other videos. But trust me, these are 4 tips to help you get that length that you want. So if you ever wanted to silk press your hair gonna be down to your booty, or if you want your natural hair down to your butt, it's gonna get you there, because your hair, this challenge prioritizes hair health more than anything. This is not, before you're like, oh my god, I've seen videos like this. Let me tell you something. I never had a growth in my hair for the longest time until I did 4. These are 4 steps that I've done to break through my hair growth. I made a video on YouTube. You can watch that video. But this is this routine, these tips, these 4 tips I'm going to share are based upon my current routine. A lot of the other ingredients like fenugreek and other powders I don't really use as much because I've evolved and I've grown. So I wanted to give you guys an updated summer hair growth routine. Technically speaking, you can do this in the fall and the winter too, but the fall and the winter, you know, you might want to silk press your hair in the fall, and I get that. But this is the summer, the fall, the winter. You can do it at all times, but I'm giving it to you now, so let's get into it. Number 1, oh, take notes. Make sure you're taking notes because I have notes. Number 1, you're going to want to reverse deep condition pre-poo wash days. Okay? You need to do your deep conditioning before you shampoo and condition, because it's going to ensure that everything stays, it's better. It's what I've done, and it works more effective in maintaining moisture than shampoo condition than deep condition. So here's what you're going to do. Whether you do this once a month, which is what I do, or if you do this bi-weekly, which is fine. I do not recommend anything more than every other month or every 3 weeks. You can do every 3 weeks, once a month, but don't do this every single week is what I'm trying to say, okay? You're going to want to section your hair into manageable sections, 4s, 6, 8s, whatever works for you, okay? Once you section your hair into these sections, you're going to twist. Do not braid, it's just more time consuming. Clip 4 sections and have them in twists. Just makes them an easier, chunky twist. While you're doing that, or before you do that, you know what, you determine. I'm naming them in order, okay? You're gonna take some 2 tea bags of rosemary tea. In the past I've said black tea. In the past I've also said green tea, and that caused a lot of confusion because I said both, because I use both, and they both work because it's the caffeine that helps to strengthen the hair. But sometimes people are caffeine sensitive, so I was thinking about this, and I'll tell you why I was thinking about it. And so I started using rosemary tea, and it basically does the same thing, if not more, because rosemary is like the super herb for hair growth. So you're gonna brew 2 tea bags of rosemary tea. You can use fresh rosemary, but make life easy for yourself, okay? And you're gonna put the 2 rosemary teas in a little cup. Add 1 cup of water. Let it cool. Once it steeps and cools, let it cool. Put it into a spray bottle and put it to the side. Okay, now that you've done sectioning your hair, because you should have done that before, you're going to spray the rosemary tea. If you want to infuse it with other things, you can. I'm just keeping it simple because this is what I'm using, okay? Add your rosemary tea to your hair, okay? As you add your rosemary tea to your hair, you're going to then you're going to detangle your hair, because your hair is dry, I assume. You're going to detangle your hair, then you're going to add your pre-poo deep condition. This is what your pre-poo deep condition should consist of. Start with 1 cup of your favorite deep conditioner or regular conditioner. Deep conditioner just has things like hydrolyzed wheat protein and things like that make your hair strong, and other agents, but since you're gonna be adding things, it's not as important, especially what's on the market. There's no deep conditioner I personally recommend that on the market that exists that I recommend, but if you will have one that you like, use it. Or regular deep conditioner. I use the Suave rosemary, or I used to, I'll explain why I used to, rosemary and mint shampoo, so that and conditioner line. So start with a cup. You know those get those measuring cups from Target or the dollar store. They have them for literally $1, the measuring cups, okay? Then you're gonna add a 1/4 cup of olive oil, preferably extra virgin olive oil. Really, you can use any oil you like, but there's a certain slip and richness and my hair has when I use olive oil. So that's why I try to use a lot of olive oil in my hair. But other oils, jojoba, argan, I wouldn't recommend coconut oil, but if you have a favorite oil you like to use, add that, okay? Then you're gonna add 5 scoops of MSM powder. MSM, so your hair is made of disulfide bonds. MSM is a form of sulfate, so when you add the MSM to your hair gets super duper strong. It just and rapidly aids in hair growth. Trust me, I mean, I went from my hair never growing to my hair being down to like here stretched. So just believe me when I say it works, okay? Then you're going to add 3 tablespoons of vegetable glycerin. You can get that on Amazon if you have like a health food store. But Amazon or any online store will have vegetable glycerin. And before you're like, what brand? As long as the brand, hear me when I say, because I get so many comments on what brand. It does not matter the brand as long as the brand is reputable, okay? If you see the reviews and the reviews are like, this made my hair fall out, don't get that brand, okay? Get the brand where people are like, I've used this and it works. I don't have any itchiness, or look for positive reviews. As long as it has overwhelmingly positive reviews, go with that brand, okay? So once you do that and you got your pre-poo and you mixed it all together, and if you want it more liquidy, if you want it more loose, add more oil, add more glycerin. If you want it more thick, add more conditioner. That's why I said start with 1 cup. Once you do that, you're going to apply to your section. See how you had your hair already in sections? I'll put a wash day video. It's not the exact one I'm using here, but just so you guys get a visual of what I mean. So I'll link a wash day in the description box. So you're going to detangled with the rosemary tea. Then you're taking a good healthy scoop of your pre-poo deep conditioner and you're coating that in your hair until your hair is nice and weighed. Your curls might start getting really defined and weighed down, and then you're gonna twist, and then you're gonna put it up and clip, and put a clip just to help keep separate, and you're gonna do that for your whole head. Once you're done, you're going to put a shower cap on and you're gonna let it sit for 30 minutes to 1 hour. Any time between then. You can do with heat or without heat. If you do with heat, I have like a microwavable hair cap that I put, and it lasts for like 30 to 40 minutes. So that's what I do. Or you could do without heat. You just want to make sure it's penetrating into your hair, because your hair is you're gonna sweat and it's gonna generate heat anyway. So 30 minutes to 1 hour. With or without heat, it's up to you. Then, once you're done, I have my notes, that's why I keep looking down. Then once you're done, you're gonna rinse that out. Then you're gonna shampoo and condition normally. And you see that the way your hair was in twists, do not take the twist out, okay? Don't come to me, why can't I put my hair in braids? Because braids have a way of really locking in moisture. So because it locks in, it's hard for anything to penetrate. Whereas twists make things easier. The way it styles, it makes things easier, moisture easier to penetrate. So that's why chunky twists are the move when you're doing this, okay? So make sure you keep your hair in the chunky twists and shampoo and condition. Your hair, trust me, will be clean. And then add your conditioner. When you're in the shower and you're using your regular conditioner, once you apply it, you can let it sit for like 3 to 5 minutes before you rinse it out, just to make sure your hair gets all that moisture. So now that you've rinsed the conditioner out, now we can move on to step 2, which is protective styling. I get a lot of questions on protective styling. My hair is currently in a protective style. I normally never wear my hair like this. I got this done in Jamaica, and it's so convenient. Mini twists are amazing, but when you're swimming, sometimes I have a lot of mini twists. My hair is a lot, so then I almost have to like go back and add moisture to my mini twist. Whereas if I had mini braids or braids, not so much. So that's why my hair is in braids right now. But I'm telling y'all, protective styling is the move, okay? The protective styles I recommend: braids with your natural hair, not with added hair. Any kind of braids, cornrows, flat twists, mini braids, chunky twists, mini twists, medium twists, any variation on that. Anything that's a twist out, a wash and go, something like that, I do not recommend, because your hair will be more prone to single strand knots. And if it works for you, hear me now, if that's what works for you and you don't get single strand knots, do what you do, right? This is for the video for people who are trying to grow their hair this summer so they can have tremendous growth in the fall, the winter, and beyond. But I don't recommend twist outs, chunky twists, any type of those styles, because you're gonna have those little knots at the end of your hair, and it's gonna break. And if your hair is breaking, that means you're not retaining your length. So it doesn't matter what is growing and what you're doing, it's all for nothing. So I don't recommend that for a sustainable protective style. Plus, the braids, mini twists or medium twists, chunky twists, those twists with summer, right? You want to go out with your friends and you want to go swimming, you might go to the beach and you want to get your hair wet and you don't want to have to worry. So that's why I recommend these styles, and they don't need heat. You don't need to apply heat on your hair. I'm not against heat because I have silk pressed my hair and I've gotten braids, but it's not something I would recommend you do routinely, right? That's why I don't recommend braids. I also don't recommend braids with the braiding hair or faux locks, is because oftentimes you have to blow dry your hair out before getting those really tiny braids. These are actually done on wet hair, so I kind of rescind that. It depends on who's your braider, because these are braids done on wet detangled hair, so I take that back. But even when you're going into, which will be step 3, the remoisturizing, all the moisture that you're going to add from the products you're going to put to moisturize the braids are going to go to the braiding hair, and your hair is going to be dry. Your hair will be dry or not get as much of the products, okay? So if you want to wear braids, go ahead. It's not something I'm recommending for this specific challenge, but it doesn't mean that if you wear them you won't get growth. It's just this is not what this challenge is. This is literally using your own natural hair. And if you go on Pinterest, you will find a million different ways to style your natural hair. I love this. This is how I'm gonna rock my hair this summer. This is how I see it. Because mini twists, I love them. They just take forever to do, and I just don't have time. But after you came out the shower, when you finish step 1, and now your hair is shampooed and conditioned, you're going to take a giant glob of your favorite leave-in conditioner, and you're going to coat it all over that wet twisted hair. You're going to just coat and make sure it's soaked. Now that all that moisture, everything is nice and sealed. Now when you do that, that is when you're going to protective style your hair. So after, now that your hair is in your whatever's, you can part it and now apply your curl cream section by section. When I had this done in Jamaica, that's literally what happened. I mean, she did the deep condition after because I was at a hotel, but besides the point, when she was actually like doing the style, she went like section by section, coated use my curl cream. When I say my curl cream, I mean my curl cream. I'll explain. And she used my curl cream and she raked it in, detangled everything, braided it, and then the ends are so sealed. I don't feel like taking it out to show y'all, but actually, you see how this is going on? I went in the pool and everything. Y'all, I went swimming with this hair in the chlorine-filled pool. Did you know there was napkins at the end of that pool? Just real dingy stuff. And look how good my hair looks. Look in the napkin-infested waters. There was like straws and stuff. I don't know what was in that pool because it was the adults' pool. So they have like, you can drink like while you're in the pool. And I'm saying like, I was in the cut for real. But the point of what I'm saying is, look how my ends are still sealed. My ends are still sealed. My hair, braids are still neat and everything. So I'm just saying, don't underestimate the power of a protective style with your own natural hair, is all I'm trying to say, especially this summer. Alright? So once you coat thoroughly detangled your hair, if you're the type of person or your hair sees visible curl definition, that's what you should be seeing. The curls should be getting juicy, okay? So then go ahead and protect your style, whether it's cornrows, flat twists, mini twists, mini braids. Take your pick. They all kind of work the same way. It's just a matter of your preference, okay? And by the way, I said what I said. So don't, if you want to ask me in the comments, what about, I said my stance on braids. It's not going to change. If the braids work for you with the added hair and you find you still get a lot of growth, you do what works for you. But if you're asking my opinion, I'm going to tell it to you as I told you, okay? All right. Good. Now, to enhance your curl cream, I used to add my favorite, like castor oil, Jamaican black castor oil, and MSM powder. I don't do that anymore. Like I said, I'll explain why. And I mix it together, and that just bolsters up, because a lot of these products, can y'all let me go off for a second? Jackie, can you just let me? Okay, thank you. She gave me permission to go off, so I'm gonna go off. Most of the time, this is my favorite curl cream. This is my favorite on the market curl cream. This and the Oars curl cream. I just don't see it in Walmart anymore. This, it says it's made with like flaxseed oil and red palm oil and cocoa butter. But when you look in the ingredients, I have to find the things. The problem with companies, and it's not knocking the effectiveness of the product, but the problem with companies is they don't make money. It's easier to make money when you don't have to spend as much money to make something, right? So that being said, the flaxseed, the red palm oil, and the cocoa butter are not going to be the most abundant ingredients in the products, and that goes for your curl cream, that goes for your leave-in, that goes for whatever they say. If they call it a coconut oil leave-in, coconut oil really is not in there, and companies do this because it takes more money to put in the ingredient, the ingredient, than it does the other ingredients that bolster the product and add thickness and add the good consistency to it. And I get it, but then I have to, okay, I gotta buy the castor oil separately. Then I gotta buy this, or when I make my deep conditioner, I gotta get the olive oil and get the MSM, and I used to get the fenugreek powder, and I used to get the honey and do all these things. And be a little chemist and whip it up, and you know what I'm saying? It's you know, I'd rather just have the product. So I'm just saying, so you adding the castor oil and adding the MSM is going to help give the product the bolster. MSM, like I said, it's going to help your hair grow, it's going to strengthen your hair, and castor oil is just an all-around good oil to use to give the product some more heft so it doesn't feel so watery. Even though that product is one of the thicker ones, that's why I use it. And yeah. So once you have that, you're going to make sure your ends are sealed. Usually when you finish, like for here, my ends are sealed, honey. No single strand knots over here. I don't even have to add end sealant to my hair, because these ends, the product that she put in my hair literally sealed my ends. Let me tell you, this product is such a dynamite product. This product is so amazing. And you know why? Because it's my product that I made. I made this because I'm starting a natural hair company. And the name will soon, if you know the name, shut up, because it's getting legally protected, so hush. But if the name, I'm just joking, but I'm saying is I'm starting a company. You guys have told me, like, oh my gosh, Deanna, like, how do you seal your ends? Well, I made an end sealant based off of Murray's beeswax, right? You take a jar of, this is all still step 2, because once you finish Protect the Style, you need to make sure your ends are sealed. And off the reason why I had an end sealant, I know I'm going all over the place, y'all just gotta follow me. The reason why she didn't have to add an end sealant, because the product that I made, it does that. But I do have an end sealant that I use, especially when I have my hair in twists, because even twists or mini braids are more prone to it. But I mean, I didn't have to put it in here. My hair is also really healthy, so it doesn't do that as much. And plus my hair is not in a twist out or braid out, right? But in order to grow your hair, you will not have any growth if your ends are not sealed. Because if your ends are not sealed, you are not retaining length. And if you're not retaining length, then what are you doing? The natural hair girls love to tell you that you got to do this and you got to do that and without telling you anything. They'll say, okay, you got to make sure your ends are sealed, drink water, eat healthy, shampoo and condition your hair. Well, how do you seal your ends? You just make sure your ends are sealed. Okay, y'all heifers are annoying, okay? And I feel bad. I don't want to call them that, but the thing is, I feel as though they really didn't have an issue growing their hair. Like their hair just kind of grew, and now people are asking them how they grew their hair, and now they're trying to figure out like, oh, how did I grow my hair? And they're trying to come up with things to tell you, but they didn't really think about it. That wasn't the case for me. My hair didn't just grow. I didn't have healthy hair my whole life. I had to flat iron my hair for years for dance. My hair was really thick as a kid, but then it was thinning, not thinning, but it was still, it wasn't as thick because I flat ironed it. Then I cut it and then I grew it from scratch. So it wasn't this, oh, I just always had this long hair. I literally, it took the Holy Spirit talking to me to figure out what it is I need to grow my hair, and it's apparently not just working for me, it's working for y'all too. The end sealant that I'm telling you was made with the Murray's beeswax. It's 1 jar of the beeswax, 2 tablespoons of shea butter, 2 tablespoons of Jamaican black castor oil, 2 teaspoons of honey or agave nectar, and 4 scoops of MSM powder. You mix until thoroughly combined. A lot of people have told me that they can't get the Murray's beeswax, but I'm saying an end sealant doesn't exist on the market because companies don't want you to have healthy hair. They want to lure you with false promises and say, here, you know, your hair will grow, without actually coming up with an end sealant. Which is what I did, accidentally, might I add. This isn't the container it's coming in. I was trying to make a leave-in conditioner. Like I said, I'm starting my own company, and I was trying to figure out how to make a leave-in, but then I realized this is actually an end sealant. This was my surprise product, and it smells good. Oh my god, it smells really good. And I'm not just saying this because this is my company and I'm trying to hype it up. I'm saying this because I've tried everything. And you're probably like, no, you haven't. Yes, I've bought, y'all should see my bin. It is full of experiments and products I've tried for years. And you're just getting the same variation of the same thing. And the reason why I said I used to use Suave, I used to do these things, because every single thing that you could think of for your hair is what I use. Consider this a super, super duper soft launch of my company. I use my own shampoo. I make my own shampoo, conditioner, leave-in conditioner, deep conditioner, curl cream, end sealant, and rosemary tea infused spray with other stuff. And I make these things from scratch, and it took a while to formulate these things. And I mean a while. I don't have a team of chemists working with me. It's just me and Jackie and my parents writing the check, thank you God, for them to fund the, you know, make the products, you know what I'm saying? But this end sealant is literally like, try when you eventually buy this, if you want to, make sure your hair is just overall a little wet, because anytime this is oil based and it does have water in it, so it's going to provide moisture, and it moisturizes and seals. I don't recommend this for a curl cream, though you could, but the curl cream is like that I have is like a lesser, it's not as oil rich as this, which makes it the most perfect curl cream in existence. She put that on my hair. Look at my hair. You see this? When I went to the pool and I went swimming, all I did was take some of the curl cream, put it on, and then I took a little bit of the end sealant, scrunched up, and the coils were coiling. The ends they went back up in themselves. So I truly recommend, if you guys want to get like I don't think I'm going to pre-launch the company. I think I'm just going to launch the company. Big decision. I'm not going to pre-launch the company. I'm going to launch the company, and I'm going to tell you all the date soon. And if you want to send me an email to dke.glowy@gmail.com, my email is in the description box. I'll add you to the email list, so that way you're already website is fully published, you'll be aware, like, okay, I know this is the release date, because I'm starting off with a limited launch. So I'm not going to have a bunch of products launched, a large quantity. All the products will be released. Kits will be released. Trust me, you're gonna want a kit, because you're just gonna want a kit, because I use all of these products. All these products work together. Everything that I said, from curl cream to shampoo, conditioner, I use my own. And I don't want to say too much, because I don't want to say too much, but trust me when I say whatever I say is in there, is in there. If I say this is the cocoa butter hair cream, it's not. I'm just saying, trust me when I tell you cocoa butter is up in that product. If I say this is the, I don't know, give me something, a sunflower oil. Who would use, I mean, product, the sunflower oil is gonna be all up in there, and everything else is just to assist the overall quality of the product. I mean, my hair is growing. I'm gonna be doing this challenge too, so don't think it's just me talking to y'all. We all getting this length together. We're getting the waist length. We're getting my hair is actually, it's like past boot. It's not, wait. I think it actually is getting, if really close to waist length, it's because it's like right here. So this is your waist, right? Like, this is your waist? Yeah, it's getting there. But my goal is like hip, knee length hair. I'm trying to be Rapunzel in these streets, okay? So, yeah. Protective style and seal your ends. That's what I really, really recommend. Like I said, I hope y'all are taking those. Because it's like, you know what? People are like, well, why can't she just make a whole video demoing this? Because I have videos where I essentially demoed this. I have a ton. I did the work. The least y'all could do is take you some notes. Get a pen. Get you up. I said, did I not say take notes? Because a lot of people come from me like, why can't... I said take notes or go find another video to reference what I'm doing, because I'm doing the same thing. My methods are just tweaked a little bit, okay? And step three, you're gonna re-moisturize your hair. That's what I was saying. So you're gonna do this every 3 to 4 days post your wash day. So once you have all that for your wash day, you're not gonna moisturize your hair the next day, because your hair is gonna still be moisturized. But you're gonna wait maybe like 3 to 4 days, or when you start feeling like, oh, my hair is getting dry, you're gonna just spray your hair with your water, or if you have a liquid leave-in spray that works too, that you like to use, then you're gonna take your curl cream, you're gonna slap that together, you're gonna coat it through your hair, and it's gonna smooth out your hair. If you have your end sealant on you, or if, let's say, my line is out soon, which it will be, and you're like, I want to use Deanna's end sealant, use Deanna's end sealant and put that on your hair. But if you have your Murray's, your DIY Murray's end sealant, put that on your hair. I will not recommend straight up grease, any kind of butter to end seal, because butters, the thing about it is, it needs something. Your ends are very delicate, right? And sometimes when there's not enough moisture on your hair and you add a rich butter by itself undiluted, it's going to pull the moisture and dry your ends. So that's why I don't recommend grease for your ends. That's not an end sealant. That's just a sealant, period. Okay? I used to use grease, but when I started making my own products, they were enough. Like, not only was it moisturizing, the water content in it moisturized, but the oil content also sealed, so it did it. It's fantastic. I'm not saying this just to hype up my brand. I'm saying this because it works, and I don't have to buy stuff on the market anymore, because these ingredients, this formula that is formulated, wink wink, is amazing, and it just works. And I'm really excited to share this with y'all, and hope your hair will flourish. You know, I mean, I don't want to say that, because not every line is for everybody, but this line is for me. And if it's something I wouldn't use, I wouldn't recommend anything I wouldn't use, which is why this line has taken so long. Because if I wouldn't put it in my hair, I wouldn't sell it to you. I've been through enough different products, from this brand to that brand to this natural brand to that brand to this brand to that brand, to know what works and what doesn't. So that's why I'm very excited about it. And then oil your scalp if necessary. So make sure your hair is re-moisturized. I don't really do too much with these braids because these braids, they got it. You know what I'm saying? I also don't want to mess up the parting, but I might do it a little lighter. So just like little spray, a little cream, because the ends are sealed, baby. Like them ends been sealed, and I went into pool water. Some nasty pool water with I told y'all, with the napkins and the debris at the end of the pool, at the bottom of the pool, because I was snorkeling in the pool. Because I wasn't going to snorkel at the beach. The beach had all kind of, it said beware of sea urchins. I'm like, I'm not going in that water. So I went in the pool, and I'm looking down, and it's all clear. You see people's feet, and then you just see napkins, and I'm like, ew, I'm glad I'm not touching the bottom. I'm glad I'm not tall enough to touch the bottom of the pool. So yeah, and oil your scalp if necessary. My scalp is moisturized. I don't know what it is. I don't, should I say this, Jackie? Should I tell him? Nah, I'm gonna let it be a surprise. Moving on to step 4. Step 4 is actually the thing that's gonna set it off, and I made a whole video about this, is scalp massaging. You're gonna wanna scalp massage your hair every single day, all 30 days, 2 times per day for 10 minutes. And if you're like, oh my God, Deanna, that's so dumb. Like, why do I have to scalp massage my hair every day for 10 minutes with my hands in the inversion method, which is when you're hanging your head down or back on the end of your bed or the end of a chair, whatever, like this. Like pretend, so like Jackie is, see how her head is tilted down? You massage the scalp. Yeah, that's what you need to be doing. That's the position you need to get into. It's ideal. However, if you have this, which I will link in the description box, this is not sponsored, by the way. This is my scalp massager, and it literally works. I don't like putting it directly on my hair when I have my hair in braids because I will mess up, but I put my bonnet on and put it on, and I just, see? And it runs for 10 minutes. So this runs for, it comes with a charger and everything. It runs for 10 minutes and then it stops after 10 minutes. So it just makes it easier to know, like, okay, it makes it easier, and there are different modes. You can go clockwise, counterclockwise. But let's say you're like, I ain't got that. I think it's like $30 on Amazon, but I'll link it when I bought it. And there are a bunch that are like this. This had a lot of good reviews. That's why I bought it. Your hands, let me tell you something. I didn't have this before. I had it, I was using my hands and my hair grew. So make sure when you're using your hands, just make sure you're going all over your hair. You're going from your nape to the hairline and really focus in the crown. See, the crown of the hair is where you get the least blood flow. This is why when people their hair starts thinning, it starts thinning up here first. Okay, so make sure your whole head, and I said 10 minutes, 2 times a day. You do not need to apply oil to your scalp unless your scalp is dry. And when you use the scalp massager, do not apply oil to your scalp before using it. Okay, when you do your remoisturizing routine, my suggest do it in the morning, right? So if you have to apply oil on your scalp, the oil doesn't get into the little like prong thingies of the thing. And then in the afternoon and in the evening, do 1 10 minutes in the afternoon, do 1 10 minutes in the evening, or you could just do 2 10-minute sessions back to back while you're watching TV, or you know, just bored or doing something. And that's very therapeutic and it's very relaxing as well. So yeah, those are the 4 steps and tips for your hair to get super duper healthy and long. These tips work because it ensures the health of your hair. So I come from a place of love. I say this out of love. I say this out of, I guess, passion for hair, and want to see every single black woman and man trying to grow their hair with amazing, beautiful, healthy hair. And it's living proof that anyone can grow their hair. Anyone can grow their hair. I'm not an exception. And a lot of these influencers, they make it seem as though it's only they can grow long hair. And I think a lot of them gatekeep it because I think a lot of them don't want everyone else to have what they have. I also think a lot of the influencers who have natural hair care lines are not doing anything surprisingly remarkable. No shade. I know that sounded shady, but I looked into it and I was like, okay, this is still not really, I'm using your products, right? But my hair is not as long and thick and as healthy as yours. What is the disconnect? The disconnect is hair growth is a system. and it comprises of the main things of your protective styling, your ends are sealed, you're massaging your scalp. Those are the pillars of hair care. Those are the pillars of healthy hair care, healthy hair growth, extreme hair growth. Because when you do these, I want y'all to do, you know what? I want y'all to make a YouTube video or Instagram post and tag me or whatever, because I really think that if everyone was doing this, everyone's just gonna have long, healthy, luscious, amazing hair. So my Instagram is deanna.k. Sorry, my Instagram is deanna.k.east. Okay, it's not Glow in Peace. My Glow in Peace actually was hacked. So if y'all see it, unfollow it, report it. Okay, Glow in Peace 23 on Instagram is hacked. Don't follow that. Okay, my Instagram is at deanna.k.east. That is my Instagram. And on YouTube, y'all know I'm Glow in Peace. If you want to join the Facebook group, I have a Facebook group. I have to start being, I always say this, but I gotta be active in that Facebook group. And we post about hair care. You can talk about life. You can talk about anything you want in that group. It's a private group. So just go on Facebook, type in Glow in Peace, click, I don't know how, like, you just click, like, add or whatever, and then I'll let you in the group. Okay, so I hope this helped. I say this as a courtesy, but I have answered a lot of questions. I hope this was self-explanatory. If you have any questions, let me know. Sometimes I say that because y'all don't know how many times for the past year I've had to answer the same question over and over and over and over and over. And I say this with love, and it's just something like, oh man, but that goes with the territory. I understand. If anyone in the comments knows the answer to the question, you feel free to answer that question on my behalf, as long as it's something based on what I've said. Don't oh, that's a slippery slope. But you know what? I'm just saying, if you know, all right, Deanna said this, go ahead and answer the question for them, because I still haven't answered questions because I'm like, so many. There are just so many. But I love you guys, and I appreciate your question. If you want to email me and ask a question, or want to email me to be added to the email list, so when you're among the first to know, like, all right, I know when this line is coming out, let me get it, because it's a limited quantity launch, right? I'm not launching a whole stock. I'm launching a limited quantity, and when it sells out until it's back in stock. So yeah. All right, so I love you, Jackie loves you, and we'll see you in the next video.